Welcome to episode 10 of Barf City. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin. Hopefully my microphone's loud enough.
I can hear you.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
I guess we got some bad weather coming in again.
Yeah, but it probably won't last long, though, because it's already supposed to warm up on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, so I'm okay with 1 week of bad weather, but not 2 weeks.
Yeah. Supposed to be ice. I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but we're typically more prepared for ice in this area than snow.
Yeah. Well, ice is kind of worse on me because I have to walk. I'd rather walk in snow than in ice.
Yeah, at least with snow, if you fall, you have something cushion.
Yeah. Because, the roads might be okay with ice depending on how bad it ices or not, but the sidewalks usually are always. So I usually wind up having to walk in the road. So, because it's actually more dangerous to walk on the sidewalk. So,
Gonna have to get you a helmet.
well, that wouldn't help me if I fell on my butt.
I'll get butt pads. They have them.
I'm not walking in all that garbage. I'd look utterly ridiculous. I already probably look silly wearing that big old coat, but I only wear that at night, so that one's not too bad. There's hardly anyone out there, so.
You think you look ridiculous no matter what you do?
Well, I'm very self-conscious.
I mean, you're not wrong, though. You do look ridiculous.
What the heck? You're supposed to be like, no, you look amazing and everything.
No, I'm not dating you, so I don't have to do that.
Oh, so you're admitting that if you were dating somebody, you'd just be forcing it to say stuff like that?
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
You are? I didn't know that. I'm actually not very good at that. Like when people ask me like questions like that they what answer they want, but like I never give them that answer. I'm always just like, yeah, kind of. I can always give, and they're always like, ugh. Like my mom's trying to lose weight right now, and she keeps asking me like, does it look like I lost any weight yet? And then like, to me, like I don't see her every day, so I'm like, it looks pretty much the same. I don't know, but so I look at her and go, yeah, kind of, and she goes, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Go jump up and down and be like, well, you're losing so much weight. Yeah. I don't know what kind of answer you want from me.
No, I typically don't tell people what they want to hear.
No.
Unless I'm just tired of dealing with them and I just want to get rid of them.
It's like, okay, yes, is that the answer you want? Could you shut up now? Yeah.
Yeah. If I know I don't want to deal with you that day, I'll give you every answer you want. And just speed along and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's almost worse, especially if they get like overly excited about whatever it is. Like, let's say they bought some new clothes or something. They think they just look amazing in that new outfit. And they're just getting like all giddy about it or whatever. And you're looking at it thinking like it either just looks okay or maybe that it doesn't look good at all. And I'm like, that whole moment, I'm just so tempted to crush all their hopes and dreams. I'm like, to me, it looks horrible, but yeah.
Well, for me, no one looks good in really anything, in a sense.
Yeah.
If you're wearing something that looks good and you look good yourself naturally, you're going to look good in it.
Yeah.
It's like a suit. If you buy one that's tailored to fit you and it looks nice and is well done, and you're a good-looking guy, you're going to look good in that suit.
Yeah.
If you're just some regular guy and you put on a overbag suit that's not tailored to you and it's kind of wonky, you're going to look weird.
I actually kind of like baggy clothes. I think they look cool. Depending on what parts are baggy.
They're not like the three-piece suit.
Yeah. It is fair to say it also depends on people's taste and preferences. Because, like, if I'm more into certain types of clothes or even hairstyles or whatever, and then someone sits there and they get a new haircut and I think it looks terrible because it's not really my cup of tea, what I would want, but they really like it because it's their style. Like, I'll be sitting there thinking, like, it looks bad, but they're thinking, oh, no, it looks really good. So it is fair to say on that.
Hairstyle's a little different than clothes and shoes.
Well, I would say clothes would apply too.
No, not for me, because like clothes, if it's not your taste, like, well, I'm not wearing it, but it's your taste. They look they're decent looking clothes. See, and you look good, whatever.
Yeah.
Hair, on the other hand, you can fuck up big time on hair.
Well, there is it. Obviously, there are objective bad hairstyles where everybody's going to look bad in it. So,
Well, like hair also
but
is.
I'm talking about like the hairstyle was done right. It was done really well, but it's just not maybe your cup of tea or something. And it's also fair to say hairstyles don't always suit everybody, but that can depend too. So,
well, also you're looking at it as like what you prefer.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It depends on your style and preferences. So,
but somebody that this looks good on them, they don't want to hear your preference on an outfit. They don't care what kind of outfit you would wear. It's the outfit they would wear. They want to know if they look in the outfit style that they wear.
Yeah.
So you kind of get in that mindset, okay, if I liked whatever that is they're wearing, would it look good? Yeah or no. You have to look at it if you like that style.
Yeah.
Now it looks great, but I wouldn't wear it. It's not my style, but it looks great.
Well, right. I didn't necessarily always mean it like that. I was just saying cup of tea, like, because sometimes just seeing those clothes in general, you might just find them not appealing or appealing vice versa, you know? Like no matter who's wearing them, whether you're wearing or someone else is wearing them. So.
I don't find any particular style that way. I find some styles stupid, but people, if you pull it off, you pull it off. Great. I ain't fucking trying.
Yeah, well, I kind of do have that with clothes, actually. I think some clothes are just not my cup of tea, no matter who wears them. I just don't think they look very good.
Oh, because like to me, your shorts that you wear during the summer look fucking stupid.
Why do they look stupid?
They just look stupid on you.
But what about them look stupid, though? Is it the color? What is it?
Nah, I mean, the red ones are very noticeable. Like, I can see you through the trees, and I can see your red shorts before I notice you.
Is that a problem? That you see me really well?
I guess it's technically not a problem that you're walking, but I think like shorts that are like above the knee, eeny bit, do not look good on guys.
I actually prefer. See, that's what I'm talking about right here. This is like my taste. I actually prefer them to be shorter. I think guys with longer shorts look stupid. So, actually, girls or guys. So, that's just my preference. So, I actually never liked the long shorts. Look, even when I was a kid and they were really big in style, I always thought they looked ridiculous. So that's why I never wore shorts when I was a preteen. I always wore pants.
I'm talking about, like, for me, the length of my shorts, standing up, they might be on my knees.
Well, if they just hit the knee, that's okay. But I do think they look better above the knee because, for one, they make you look a little taller because that shows more skin. So it gives the illusion that you're actually taller than you actually are. But I also just think they look better. So, and they're way more comfortable, in my opinion.
In the taller aspect, I don't have that problem like you.
Yeah. Well, even tall guys, like tall girls or guys, like wearing short shirts to me, like just look better in them. So,
like, I wouldn't wear jorts.
What are those?
You know who John Cena is, right?
Yeah.
The shorts he wears in wrestling. That length,
real long ones. Yeah.
Those are called jorts.
Yeah, those are the ones I'm talking about. Like they were really in style, like when I was a preteen/teenager, I guess when we both were. And I couldn't stand them. So, and there were so many stores that had. That's one reason why I never wore shorts when I was that age. I always wore pants. So, because I thought the shorts that were in style at the time looked ridiculous. So,
yeah. Well, like
now I don't mind baggy pants. I think baggy pants look cool, but those long baggy shorts, I think they look ridiculous. So
yeah.
And but other people look at it and they think, oh no, these look really cool. So that's what I'm talking about. So.
Again, I don't like jorts, but John Cena, he looks good in jorts. He wears them right. Whatever, he looks good in them.
I don't think he looks good in them either, but if he wants to wear them, he can wear whatever he wants. Yeah.
The difference. You have a strewed of, because you don't like them, You don't think anybody should look good in it.
Yeah, I don't think people should or shouldn't. It's just a matter of a cup of taste. So,
But I can admit when somebody looks good in something that I hate.
yeah, it's kind of like me and the whole a lot of people think I'm weird when I start talking about the way I feel about tattoos. It's kind of like I don't think anybody looks good with tattoos on, but I also think if someone wants to get one, they can do whatever they want. So, because I don't think tattoos look good. So, to me, it's like it's the same thing of putting a bumper sticker on your car. It just looks tacky to me. I just don't think it looks good. So,
I think my tattoo looks great.
What tattoo are you talking about?
I have tattoos.
Where are they at?
My forearm and the back of my neck.
I've never seen them.
We've worked.
What, 6 years now?
Yeah. You've never noticed the big ass cross on my forearm.
Maybe. I never really look at that.
I really just want to cover you and Mark tattoos. We have to go into
Yeah, it's on my left arm.
I never know. You said it's on the forearm?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah, my inner forearm.
The top part or like underneath?
On the table, it's facing outwards.
Like the top part, like
most of
the part where like the hair would grow. That part.
Yeah. On the bottom,
Huh. No, I don't think I've ever noticed it.
Yeah. It's right under my elbow, almost.
Why do you have a tattoo of a cross on there?
Why not? I like this cross design, so I got it.
Oh, okay.
It's not a religious thing.
I was just curious. I'm not judging. I was just curious. What did you have a tattoo on the back of your neck? What is it of?
A band of my friends.
A band of your friends. Okay.
It's a buddy of mine from Germany's band.
Oh, okay. You're just like a walking billboard, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. See, I will never see the cross as religious.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be. I was just curious. So.
Well, the thing is, crosses were used before Christians, so.
Yeah, I actually kind of find it a little weird that Christians are obsessed with crosses. So, I get the idea because Jesus' crucifixion, but it's like it's kind of weird when you think about the whole concept. Because they'll literally put crosses in their houses that don't even have like Jesus on it. It's literally just a cross, and it's just like that could be like that's kind of open to interpretation a little bit, but yeah.
It's like famous. I can't remember when it came out, but there was a meme circulating for a little while there. It was like Jesus coming back, seeing all the crosses everywhere. It'd be like Tupac coming back and seeing AK-47s everywhere.
Oh, okay, yeah. That took me a second. I was sitting there going, "What?"
Tupac was gunned down.
Yeah. Right, I get the idea. They're just kind of treating it like a symbol, but it's just like it's a little strange. I was like, wouldn't it make more sense to use the empty tomb as a symbol? But I guess that's a little trickier to do. So the cross is kind of easy symbol to. So
I mean, that empty tomb would be just two circles, one black, one gray.
Yeah, but then it would, I guess it would be one of those things that people would have to. But I guess if it got engraved in the culture, people would know what it was.
Catholicism or any of that. And bound to piss off some people if they didn't steal something from another culture.
Yeah.
Almost every aspect of the religion is stolen from another religion.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Facts. Because anyhow, they're not even the first to have a Garden of Eden in their stories. That's Scandinavians.
I thought that was a Samaritan thing, or not Samaritan. What society am I trying to think of? Assyrian?
Koreans?
Assyrian? Yeah.
Yeah, they did have it, didn't they?
Yeah. They had it first, yeah. And then and of course other cultures told that story as well. Same thing with the whole Noah's Ark thing. That story was told like forever before the Jews ever adapted that story. So their own version of that.
Yeah.
Mm. Anyway, we're probably pissing people off with our cups. People
I
are probably,
give
they're,
more points to
they're probably sitting there going, "What the? Where did you read that? Let me Google that." Like, trust me, that is
it.
it.
Fact check
You,
us. Let's have
you can
fun.
check it if you want. Yeah. Mhm.
I have no problem with it. Have fun with this.
Why is the
It's not
temperature
like
keep going up 1 degree and then right back down a degree?
they make it fine.
Yeah. It's like 33, 32, 33.
I finally fell sleeping away last night that my feet was warm, so I woke up, my feet still slightly sweating. And I took a step on the floor because we have like I told you before, we have ceiling heat and the floor heat. And the fucking floor was ice cold. My feet were sweaty and warm. I'm like, oh, no.
I didn't know feet could get sweaty, but I suppose they could.
Dude, you can sweat everywhere. You have pores. Sweat comes out of your pores, my friend.
I don't think my feet have ever gotten sweaty.
Lucky you. Means you ain't done enough hard labor.
Can you sweat out of your fingernails?
No, because that's keratin.
Oh.
Your fingernails are keratin.
Oh.
And your hair.
Huh.
And your teeth. And your toenails.
Huh.
No, teeth are bone. Never mind. And part of your nose is cartilage. Yeah, most of your nose is cartilage. Yeah, you can sweat out over your skin. My hands get clammy. That's actually just sweat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I always thought it was when they got dry was when they were clammy.
No.
Hmm.
Clammy is like a cold sweat in your hand, basically.
Yeah.
Your hands are cold, but they're sweaty. So they have that weird, like, cold, sticky, wet texture, feel it?
I don't think mine have ever done that.
Mine don't really get clammy very often.
My feet are usually, unless I have shoes on, my feet are usually always cold. So.
Yeah. Nah, you can sweat out anywhere, my friend. Anywhere that's skin. Mm-hmm.
Can the inside of your nose sweat?
Yeah.
How about your eyeballs?
No, because they're not skin.
Oh, okay.
Your eyeballs are technically jelly.
All right. Get some peanut butter.
Yeah. Go from. Do you not pay attention in like basic biology?
Biology, what's that? Hello?
I'm not answering you.
You're not answering?
Nope.
Why?
You know what biology is.
I do not. I need you to explain it.
Basic study of life.
Oh, okay. How does that work?
It works by me sticking my foot up your ass in a minute. Oh, it's too early for this in the podcast.
Is it?
I'm dying over there. The fuck
No, I'm all right.
the hell did you do?
I was trying to smoke a cigarette to see what it'd feel like.
Sure. Trying to copy me now?
Yep, I want to be just like you.
I hope not.
Why? I'm going to legally change my name to Eric.
All right. No.
Then it'll be
Never actually
the Barb
did
City Podcast with Eric and Eric.
that. Eric. No, but you gotta have a K instead of a C.
Why?
Because like Ed, and Eddie, they're all different spelling of Ed.
This isn't Ed, and Eddie.
Come on.
This is real life.
Well, it depends on who you ask, because this is real life.
All right, I'll do it with a K. That way I can keep my K as from my old name.
Because there's 3 ways to do Eric: E-R-I-C, E-R-I-K, or E-I-C-K.
Technically, you can spell it however you want.
No, to pronounce it, Eric has to be spelled specifically.
Not the way I spell it.
Well, you're a weird fucker anyways.
It's my name. I can spell it and pronounce it however I want.
Kevin.
I'm going to spell my name like a completely different name and then correct people every time they say it wrong. Spell it like Aaron, but then say, no, it's pronounced Kevin. Like, how is this pronounced Kevin? Like, that's the way I pronounce it. You're just going to have to get used to it.
No, I'll just call you Aaron, just to piss you off. Yep.
I'd correct you every time. I'd be like, it's Kevin.
Aaron.
Kevin.
Aaron.
Kevin.
Aaron.
We sound like a couple of like 8-year-olds in there. The stupidest argument in the world.
Our mental age is showing.
Pretty much, yeah.
You could call him Vinny.
Vinny.
Because the last half was Vinny.
Hey, Vinny. Let's call you Vinny. I'll just call you Vinny.
Vinny?
I'll call you Vin.
Vin?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Okay. Vin.
Oh, Vin. Okay, I did not pick up on that. I was sitting there going, why Vin?
Vin or Vinny?
Yeah, I would not like that at all.
I better start doing that now.
Well, all right, I'm going to start calling you Ricky.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have a problem with it?
I tell people, call me where the fuck you want.
Well, at the end of the day, I really don't care, but I do have my preferences. Like, I prefer people not to call me certain, like, abbreviations of my name and stuff like that. But, like, it's not that big of a deal to me.
Well, hell, I might as well at this point in most days just change my name to asshole.
I feel like you call me that more than, like, but I don't know how often people are calling you that stuff.
Quite often. Maybe I am an also. Mm-hmm.
Well, you are, but that's a different subject.
Yeah.
All right, so the unpopular opinions I picked out, they're all from Reddit, but obviously. I tried to pick out ones that were like not too, like I tried nothing political and nothing religious related that I'm aware of. So, what word am I looking for? Controversial. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Oh, don't you know? Controversy sells.
Uh,
Anywho, your list of unpopular opinions.
all right, let me start actually from the end and kind of work my way toward the beginning. I picked out I think between 20 and 30 of these. We don't have to go through all of them. I just wanted to make sure to have a decent amount. Okay, so I'll read the title and then we can I'll just read all of it. We'll figure this out. Okay, so it says hitting someone in the balls in a fight is not dirty. Dirty fighting, I suppose they mean. Their explanation for this is if it became normalized, people would know how to defend it better. Also, I'm a man and I have an enormous schlong that basically hangs in front of the OL handbags. I guess they meant old handbags. So I don't have this guy's going into weird. I don't think I read all this before I saved this one.
Okay, we're gonna cut on that one. Is it
Natural part of the body.
to hit a man in the balls in an actual fight?
I would say it depends on what kind of fight you're doing. Like in my opinion, if you're doing like street fighting, like you just got in a fight with someone and a fist fight broke out, like in my opinion, anything's fair game. So,
yeah.
Like you're in a street fight, that's how that works. So unless you set out some rules, I guess, before the fight starts, but that would be a specific situation. Like what was that in Anchorman where they right before they got in a fight, they were like weren't allowed to touch anyone's hair or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, obviously, if you're doing like official, like you're doing boxing, UFC, or whatever, like they have rules you have to follow. I mean, you can break them if you want, but you're going to get disqualified. So,
yeah. If it's in a professional sense, yeah, don't hit the balls. Unless you're in, like, of course, the WWE and it's your character, whatever. Some kind of wrestling entertainment business like that. But
yeah.
If some motherfucker jumps your ass, yeah, and you have to hit him in the fucking balls, bite his fucking ear off. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, especially if they really, like, if they have really overpowered me in the fight, I'm gonna defend myself in any way I can. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, I could just kick him in the balls and then push him off me, but that would be unfair. So I guess I better not do that. Like, no, I'm not. I don't care in that moment. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you in the fucking balls. When you go down, we'll get up on top of you and beat your fucking head in. Nah. If somebody attacks you or you're in a fight in the streets, hit a motherfucker in the balls. Especially you women. If any women and females are hearing this, if a man with testicles attacks you, a natural born male, hit him in his fucking balls. And when he goes down, don't just walk away. Stomp those fuckers. Make them regret ever doing that shit.
Well, what if a woman attacks me and she overpowers me? Can I slap her in her boobs?
Yeah, kick her in the cooch. That's just as much.
I would punch her in her boobs. That'd probably hurt worse.
Hell, just titty twister. I've done it in a fight. It works.
I don't think I've ever been in a physical fight with a woman before, but I mean, I've been in verbal fights with many of them, but not
I've never been in a physical fight with a woman either. But hey, purple nurples work on guys too.
It's a little harder to find, but yeah, if you can get a grab on it, yeah.
I got into a fight with a dude, and he took me. We got on the ground, run around, and he was trying to fucking get me in a chokehold, but his chest, because he had it. Basically, his head was on my chest, and my head was under his chest. He's trying to strangle me like that. I bit him in the fucking nipple. Fuck you, ain't letting you fucking strangle me.
You're so violent, Eric.
I'm only violent when it's necessary, and that was a necessary time.
Well, I think there are some situations where you can just walk away, which is, if someone like physically grabs me and holds me down, yeah, I'm going to defend myself. But if they're just talking trash at me, I'll just walk away. I don't care. So. Yeah,
if you're able to walk away, just fucking walk away. It's not worth it. But if somebody got a hold of your ass, grabbing you, got some testicles, a penis, rip a nipple off, fucking grab their ears, I don't care. Gouge an eyeball. Hell, put your finger up the nose and yank. Whatever. Fish hook their asses. Do whatever it takes.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Well, probably not if it was happening the person that they would have happening to, but yeah. But
Hey, I fish hooked a dude behind the jaw because he got me in a headlock. He got behind me, had me in the headlock, so I reached my arm back there and put my fucking fingernail behind his jaw and put right behind his jaw. Fucking let go pretty quick.
it reminds me of that episode of Friends where it's like what's a fish hook, and Joey like just sticks his finger in Ross's mouth and like starts yanking on his cheek, and he was just like, yeah, thanks dude, that would have been so hard to explain. I'm like, yeah.
But hey, I guess we agree on that one.
Oh yeah, totally. I think street fighting, it's like that's kind of the whole point of it. It's like no rules. It's like, Hell in the Cell, no rules match or whatever that's called in WWE, everything's fair game. You gotta use nails, a chair, whatever.
There's so many different ones. Don't lump them all together.
I didn't lump them all together. I just said whatever it's called. Is it no rules match or is it called Hell in the Cell? Or are those two different ones?
Hell in the Cells. So there's two different cage matches.
Hell in the Cell is where they lock you in the cell, right?
And then there's the steel cage match, which is a Hell in the Cell. They lock you in the cage. It's the one with the top on it. The fight can take place in the cage, outside the cage, whatever. Then you have the steel cage match, which it doesn't have a roof. The only way to win is by pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage, whether it be getting the door open and escaping through the door or climbing over the top.
Yeah.
I will.
And then you have ladder matches, which the gain is the first person to put their opponent through the ladder. Table. You got ladder matches, which typically have something hanging up above the ring, and you have to put a ladder up. The first to unhook it wins. Yeah. Then you have the TLC match, which is tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! And that one, you basically, first to pinfall submission wins, and you can use any chair, ladder, or table as a weapon. Then you got the hardcore matches, which all weapons are legal. Then you have the last man standing matches, which is a no disqualification match. Anything goes. The only point in that one is if you can't get up by the count of 10 on the referee's count, your match is over. And you lose.
Yeah.
There's quite a few different versions of that use weapons in or whatever.
Scared. That very scared.
Typically, it's a no disqualification match.
Yes.
The basic one is a no disqualification match because, anything goes. You can't get disqualified for whatever you do. Only way to win is for pinfall submission.
That's seriously scary.
That was a great history of showing everybody what a big WWE nerd you are.
I don't care.
I'm just messing with you. Trust me, my friends in high school, that's like literally all they talk about. I'd just be sitting there like, oh my God. People.
Well, when you've broken your back falling off a steel cage, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into.
All right. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one.
Yep.
It says green pel. Did I mention I'm a horrible out loud reader? I promise I don't read like this in my head. So green. There's something about like the correlation between trying to get what's reading in my brain versus saying it out loud. That it doesn't work out very well for me. But green bell pepper is the most useless ingredient / vegetable. There is no possible situation where a different pepper wouldn't taste better. Red, yellow, orange, purple, whatever the name of all these peppers are, and on and on. There's a reason why you almost never see green pepper used anywhere that takes food seriously.
Okay, I want to jump in on this one first.
I
Okay,
don't
so
really
you're
have
saying the flavors, are they meaning specifically just in bell pepper?
Yeah, I think they're just talking about a green bell pepper. Yeah.
All bell peppers taste pretty much the same.
Yeah, for the most part. I would say the yellow ones are a bit sweeter, but other than that, yeah, they're pretty close.
On average, when you get something like vegetables that have different colors of the same variety, it's either been crossbred to make that color, or it's different stages of its life cycle.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know how many people know this, and actually, it's it's obvious. Green tomatoes is red tomatoes just before the acidity sticks, the acid in them develops, and they become red.
Yeah.
Now they do have genetically engineered green tomatoes now, I believe.
Yeah.
But originally they picked tomatoes while they were green. They were younger in their life cycle.
Yeah.
They weren't red yet. And of course, I know that because I'm allergic to the acid in tomatoes, so I had to learn that stuff. But yeah, green bell pepper, red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, and that pinkish bell pepper, whatever it is, like a lighter colored. I don't know.
Uh,
I mean, they all taste damn good if you put like basically meatloaf stuff in the middle of it.
yeah.
Stuff are good, and it's all about how you cook the bell pepper because it's it's the thickest pepper. Yeah, it's got the thickest outer wall. Every other pepper is typically thinner. I'm just somebody who doesn't like bell peppers.
Do what?
And there are places that use red bell peppers in their cooking, and it's still fucking good.
Yeah. Bell peppers are probably not my favorite kind of pepper, but they're pretty good. So.
It all depends on how you cook it. Clearly, they haven't ate anywhere that cooks bell. And
I usually
typically, people don't use
stir fry it.
most places don't use bell peppers.
Yeah.
It's because bell pepper is not a spicy pepper.
Yeah.
Anyone
Yeah.
that uses peppers are using it for the spice, not the flavor of the pepper.
Yeah.
It's all about the spice of the pepper.
Some people just kind of treat bell peppers like more like a filler, like they just chop them up, dice them up, and then they just throw them in their dinner. Like even if they're making like friggin', I've seen people friggin' put bell peppers inside of a hamburger before. Like they'll chop them up into tiny little pieces and then put them in their hamburgers. But like it's like they treat it like it's a filler. So
I can understand if you put jalapenos or something like that, kind of a spicier pepper.
Yeah.
But bell peppers are, I mean, I will agree in some aspects they are a useless ingredient.
Yeah.
Because they're, well, not a spicy pepper. And if you typically use pepper, you want spice.
Yeah.
Now, there are meals that require bell peppers, like, of course, stuffed bell peppers, which you have to cook that just right to make the bell pepper softer and more charred, and it mixes well with the meatloaf meat. I call it meatloaf because it's basically what it is inside of it.
Yeah.
Anything that requires a mirepoix, because that's bell pepper, onion, and celery.
Oh,
that poster is clearly a dumbass and probably goes to the same 5 restaurants. Not the off chance that they turn out to be one of our listeners, I will iterate it. You're probably a dumbass.
Oh, okay. That rant was over. It felt like a weird place to stop. Yeah. All right, I'll move on to the next one. I didn't really have much of an opinion on that one, so I didn't feel one way or the other about it. So, people who wear clothes with logos are essentially paying the company to advertise for them. It's insane. These companies should pay to have their company advertise, yet so many people buy clothes with all these labels on them. I much prefer to wear clothes without logos. I don't like to flex and advertise for a company especially if I'm paying them to do it. Wearing clothes without logos is the way to go, in my opinion.
You have an opinion on this one?
I think it's just kind of a stupid opinion. That's just, but I'm curious to know what you think about it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the thing is they pay to get their company logos out there because people see their logo, they see their clothes, and they buy it.
Yeah.
Now they put their logo on said clothes to show it's their fucking clothes.
Right.
You don't
It's
buy
fair to
a
say
fucking
some people
handbag.
want, yeah, they like the logo on there because they like that brand, and so they have no problem advertising it. They want people to, know that they like that brand. So I think that, and some people just don't give a, some people just don't care. They're just like, yeah, this looks good, I'll put it on. I don't care. So,
Yeah. Thing is, Gucci. Well, Gucci's are high quality clothes. I will admit that they have good seamstress.
yeah, well, they better as much as they cost.
But they're not good enough for their cost. But no, they're paying for the popularity of that company.
Right.
But if you can afford name brand Gucci, you wear it and you want it to say Gucci because then you're like, look, I've made it. I can afford Gucci.
Yeah.
Or whatever else all these other countries. Gucci's is the first above my head because it's the most commonly one.
Yeah. Heck, even
Especially
if it's a much cheaper one, like someone could just be like wearing a Nike shirt or whatever, and some people might look at that and like, oh, it's so dumb, like generic or advertising their logo or whatever. I'm like, well, maybe they like Nike,
Yeah.
So, or maybe they just simply don't care. So.
Thing is, if I was to spend thousands of dollars on, again, I say a 3-piece suit, well, I'm going to go to the more expensive place with the more expensive material.
Yeah.
That you can tell it's that material because I'm going to show off, hey, look at my fucking suit.
I don't know if I've ever worn a shirt with the company logo on it other than Old Navy. I can't think of any company logos I've ever worn on a shirt anyway.
I've worn a few, but most of those were like long sleeve shirts and they were on the sleeve.
Yeah.
Stuff like Nike stuff or whatever.
I never had a Nike shirt before. I've worn Nike shoes, but not a Nike shirt.
Oh, like hell, my basketball shorts is Adidas.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it where they had the tiny little logo on there before on the shorts. Yeah.
It's literally just a way that people can't sell you shitty stuff.
Yeah.
Or on name brand stuff because you can put Gucci on something, but you can tell the difference in a fake Gucci and a real Gucci. Right. Same with fake Adidas versus a real Adidas. All because
they might look similar, but when you look at it closely, you can tell, that one is a knockoff. Yeah.
You can typically tell knockoff brands, and that's why they do it this way, so people can't be fooled as easily. If you know that company, like, well, if I know Gucci and I want a Gucci shirt, you're selling me a Gucci, I'm going to look at it, and I could probably, because I love this company, this is my company that I want to spend money on.
If I'm paying that much for Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever, it better say it on there because I'm paying that much for it. I'm gonna proudly wear that label. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I buy a Gucci t-shirt, then it better say Gucci on
it. It's a stupid thing for people to do, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, companies have to put their logos on things. I mean.
But you're also talking about someone like, I'm one of those people, I even feel proud of my new clothes, even if they're all like from Walmart. Like if it's my first week wearing new clothes, I'll wear them around like no one's ever even heard of my clothes before, even though it's like a t-shirt from Walmart, because that's just my mentality. So
here's the funny thing, right? I guarantee that person actually has maybe a shirt that has a picture of a character on it,
Yeah.
If you have a picture of a character in your shirt, it's like buying a shirt, it has Hulk on it. You're buying it because you're giving money to Marvel.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. It's just, unless you're just the typical plain, boring Jane that wears just one plain color, the thing is, that logo is on there. You just don't actively see it.
Right.
Every shirt has the company
help me.
logo.
Yeah.
Just some has it more spread around when they get really popular, like Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all them. It's called being proud of what you can afford and get.
Yeah.
Sorry you can't afford it. I mean, I can't either.
I can't afford it. Yeah.
Person who ever posted that. Sorry you can't afford that shit, and that's why you're pissed off, probably.
Well, I can't have it, so no one else should be wearing it either. Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that, and you know what? To them, get the fuck over yourself.
Or they always act like
figure out a way to do it.
The funny thing is, this person's kind of doing a little bit of both. They're acting like no one else should be doing it, but they also act like they don't really care about it. But you can tell they do. They're all just like, well, they kind of have that attitude, like, well, why would you even want to wear something? You're just basically giving them free advertisement. You're not making any money. And I'm like, oh, geez.
So, for people out there, anybody that decides to listen to this episode later, tomorrow, later this week or next 2-3 fucking years, whatever. If you go off on a rant, especially even on Reddit, if you take the time out of your day to hop on Reddit to bitch and moan about people wearing clothes, or bitch and moan about somebody playing a video game or watching this kind of show, or get anything that's expensive, we know what you're doing. You're doing it because you want it, you can't afford it, and you're pissed because you can't, so you don't think anyone else should. Who the fuck up your life? I'm sorry to say, if you want it, you'll go find a way to make the money to get it, potentially. I don't know what your life is, but if you can't, get the fuck over it. Stay in your lane, enjoy your life, fuck everyone else. Don't care if people are out there spending money on a fucking Gucci bag because you can't do it. Woo. That material will decay or tear or get dirty. It doesn't matter. Get over yourself.
I can't tell if this is part of my nail or if it's. It doesn't want to come off, but at the same time, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be on there. So, yeah. You know how that is. Oh, or did you want me to move on next one?
Yeah, move on, because I'm done with that.
I love how furious you're getting about such mundane things, but yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, okay, I like doing it because no one really does it. I'm sorry, you got to tear some people down, like.
Always love my sister's reactions when I read unpopular opinions to her on there. She's just like, she always just starts getting that attitude, like, oh, why do they care so much? I just don't get it. I'm like, well, you have to realize some people just have no lives. They have nothing else better to do but just complain.
I mean, I don't give a fuck what you do with your life. You want to care that much? But I'm just going to tell you straight with these ones. Like, if it's an unpopular opinion that I can obviously tell is because someone is jealous or dissatisfied with their life because they can't do that, well, get the fuck over yourself. Yeah. I can't do that. I give no fucks. But realistically, if I had the money to go out and buy a Gucci shirt, I'd probably go to a place where people that wear Gucci's are and probably burn it in front of them. Because I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care about that either. If I had enough money to buy Gucci, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably still just be buying the clothes I've been buying.
I'm happy with almost any type of fucking clothes fits my tall ass.
Yeah.
So I give no fucks about it. I'll go to a thrift store and find something if I need to. I don't give a fuck.
No, I can't do that. I do draw a line of thrift stores, but other than that, yeah. Other than that, I'm too good for thrift store. No, it's not about being too good for it. It's just I can't. I don't like wearing clothes that other people have already worn. It's a weird thing I have. So,
Well, here's the kicker. Almost every shirt you've ever bought from Walmart has probably been tried on by a motherfucker.
no, that hasn't happened. I only pick out the ones that people haven't tried on. So,
How do you know?
Because I know.
Made up.
Yep, I do.
You're just trying to get your brain out of what I just said.
No, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just
moving
spitting
on.
facts.
Uh-huh.
Okay, fine. Admittedly, someone may have tried it on, but I don't want to wear clothes that someone has like worn for for at least a few hours. So
Okay, so you, if it's tried on, it's fine. But if it's
yeah,
more
because they
for
probably only had it on for like 2 minutes tops, most likely. So
I don't know. Some people in the world, 2 minutes is all it needs to be. I don't want to touch that.
let's anyway.
I can do stories, my friend.
I'll move on. Yeah, because even when I was a kid,
I thought we were moving on.
I can't seem to move on for some reason. Even when I was a kid, like anytime my mom would buy clothes at a thrift store, usually pants is what she would buy. If I ever found out that it came from one, I wouldn't wear them. I would always hide it in the back of my closet and never wear them. So to this day, my mom has no idea that I ever did that. So as far as I know, she doesn't know anyway. So. But anyway, this next one's another thing. No, I'm kidding. All right,
next one.
It would calm down. All right, next one is fried chicken is the worst way to cook chicken. I'm talking about how overbreaded, deep fried. I love how people always have to exaggerate on here. The overbreaded, deep fried KFC style of cooked chicken, baked, stirred, grilled, etc., are far superior methods of cooking chicken. Granted, in my opinion, stems from fried chicken upsetting my stomach for some reason, but my opinion still stands.
Okay, I'm not even going to touch this one. We're going to move on because this one's just a biased opinion.
Yeah, when you read the end, it's kind of like, well, it tears up my stomach, so therefore it's horrible. I'm like, well, other people eat it and it doesn't bother them any, so why not let people just enjoy themselves?
I'm just ignoring that one.
All right, it says, I love sauerkraut. If you hate sauerkraut, you're a child. It's so freaking good. It's delicious on hot dogs, on burgers, on pizza. It's so freaking good straight out of the can. Ooh. Or cold from the fridge. It is good for you, tastes awesome, and it's way overhated.
Okay, I only have 3 things for this, maybe 3. 1, yeah, it's good for you. Whatever. Move on. 2, yeah, it is overhated. It's not the worst thing in the world. Black licorice is. And 3, you're a fucking child for the amount of times you were like, oh, it's so fucking good.
I actually like sauerkraut, but I don't like it from a can, which is one of the reasons why I never buy it. In most stores, that's usually how one of the few ways to get it. Now, they do usually will have it like a fresher form of it in like a container sometimes, but they don't always have that in stock. And so, and it's also one of those items I never really think to get, but when I do have it available, I like it. And I'm too lazy to make it myself. That's too much of a process.
Well, the problem with sauerkraut, it is a sour cabbage.
Right, yeah.
It's literally just sour cabbage.
Yep.
Pickled cabbage. So if you're not a fan of a lot of vinegar, which pickled cabbage has more vinegar taste than even pickles.
Yeah.
So it's above pickles in the vinegar range. So if you're not a vinegary person or you just don't like cabbage, you're not going to like it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just simple as
Yeah,
that.
it's not everybody's cup of tea. So,
No,
I do
good
think,
for you, sir,
you know,
for whoever wrote that, for being able to like it, liking that much fucking vinegar, which
yeah.
actually vinegar is not good for you, my friend. And cabbage actually doesn't have a lot of nutrients. So most nutrients coming from it is additives. So that's the only reason it's nutritional.
Well, it's good for you because it's technically a natural probiotic. So,
Yes, but you can overdo it.
yeah.
Much vinegar is actually not good for you.
Well, the vinegar isn't a probiotic, it's the process that creates the probiotic. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I like sauerkraut. I bet I'm not as over the top as this person is. If someone were to ask me, what do you think about sauerkraut? I was like, yeah, I like it. I wouldn't be like extreme like this person. Be like, oh, it's so good. Everybody's just babies, you know. And if someone
Yeah,
said, oh,
no.
I hate sauerkraut, I'd be like, cool. So,
Honestly, it'd be like telling someone because they don't like sweets that they're an old fucking man. You should already be dead. You're so fucking old if you don't like sweets.
yeah. I didn't like sweets all that much even when I was a kid. So I guess by that logic, I was already an old man when I was a kid.
Uh,
I mean, I ate them because, you know, kids often like sugar, but it wasn't my favorite thing to eat. I would
well,
much
I'm,
rather eat
I'm
other
saying
stuff.
that because, you see sweet stuff as more, people tend to see sweets as more of a kid thing and sour
Yeah.
is more of an adult thing. But realistically, it's not either way. I know fucking 90-year-old fuckers that eat shit tons of sweets because they love sweets.
Yeah. Plus, how do you
Now, I've
explain
seen
like
kids
all those?
actually like
Yeah. How do you
you.
explain all those rich snobs that sit there and always eat those desserts all the time? They literally, you know, those overly sweet desserts, in my
Well,
opinion, overly sweet. So I'm like, how is that any better than eating candy or whatever?
yeah. So it's kind of some people just aren't naturally born to like a lot of sour stuff. And some people just aren't born to like sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Some people are born to like it all. Like me, I'm a fat ass. If it doesn't have a weird fucking texture, I like it typically.
Yeah. All right.
Except
The
for black
next,
licorice. I hate black licorice. I'll always hate it.
I actually like black licorice.
Honestly, I actually need to try black licorice since I've grown up because there's actually things I started liking that I used to not like.
Yeah. I liked it even when I was a kid.
No, I don't remember actually why I didn't like it. I just never liked it, so I didn't ever eat it after that.
But it's also fair to say it's not something I eat very often. It's just one of those items like I like it, but I don't really go out of my way to get it, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm. The next one says using Facebook is not worth it. Just deleted Facebook. Oh boy. I just generally do not understand how it can be so ugly and non-functional in design. Almost it works like pretty much every social media. Almost like they have an anti-designer team. Okay, really, what am I want to post about that is not just Facebook? It's all the social and non-social medias like LinkedIn, Instagram, and others. I love how he only listed two of them. I always felt like that by refusing to participate in them, I miss connections and opportunities, but now I realize that I just don't need it. Well, obviously you don't need it. I hope somebody here has the same feelings. So this is a person that essentially just deleted their Facebook and now they're just kind of expressing why they deleted it, essentially. This is not even really an unpopular opinion.
You literally went to Reddit, which basically works the same way, to bitch about another. No, I'm not touching this one. I'm done.
I love the way you that's hilarious. So I think I read it a little differently when I saved it the first time. I only read like the first two sentences and I thought he was gonna like lay into it and start trash talking Facebook. But it's like after reading the whole thing, I'm like, well, all he really did was just delete his Facebook and now he's just explaining why he did it. I'm like, why are you explaining it to us? Go explain it to your family and friends on Facebook. The next one says
I give no shits.
I mean, I don't have Facebook anymore either, but the main reason why I don't has really nothing to do with Facebook itself. It has to do more with the Facebook community. Like Facebook nowadays, of course, it's changed a lot over the years, but nowadays it's mostly for people who want to stay caught up with their family or maybe their old high school or college buddies and stuff like that. They want to it's an easy way for them to stay caught up with them. I'm not really interested in that. Like the way I see it is if I have a family member that wants to talk to me, I have a phone, you can text or call me. I'm like, I have no interest in your post on Facebook. And it's a very indirect way of talking. Like, because everybody will make a post on there and then other family members and friends just like and reply to it. I understand why people like it. It's just not something I'm interested in. So,
For me, the only aspect of Facebook I really actively use is the Messenger.
yeah.
And that's mainly because, well, I have, like, of course, Jay, at this point in time, there's some stuff in his life. He can't afford a phone service, so he uses Wi-Fi and talks on Messenger.
Right. And in that situation, that's totally understandable. Yeah.
Or for, well, if I want to have something to show the podcast on and people can, or any of my other projects I have going on. I mean, it's easier to meet people on Facebook because I don't want to give a bunch of people my phone number.
Yeah. And I've deleted Facebook twice, actually. I deleted it once when I was a teenager because I decided it just wasn't for me after trying it out for many years. And then I brought it back in my 20s because I thought it would help me out with trying to go into the ministry because that's what I was trying to do at the time. And then when I quit Christianity, I deleted it again because it dawned on me one day. I was like, why do I still have this? I don't even believe any of that stuff anymore. So I just deleted it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the reason. And I thought, that person would vent a little bit about it. But like I said, they were just kind of like, I didn't even think they were that extreme with the stuff they said. I was like, okay,
It's just not for you. I'm sorry, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. The next one says sliding doors are better than hinge doors. Hinge doors cons are you risk hitting someone on the other side when opening a door. I love how they always give the most extreme examples. You don't know which way it opens. How do you not know which way it opens? It literally takes you a second to figure it out. The space behind the door is wasted space. Okay. It's a potential. How much crap are you putting back there? You want to just put a whole bookshelf back there? What's going on? It's a potential fire hazard if it's just open outwards in the same building. You need to put what does it say? You need to put the tacky spring on the door so that the doorknob so it doesn't hit the wall when you open the door. Creaking hinges make your house sound old or from a horror movie. Some house cats can learn how to open them. A bad guy could be behind the door and catch you from behind like Gary. This has got to be a troll post. It's got to.
Okay. What's up here, right? There's one. It's got to be a troll post because for one thing, though, first off, if a bad guy's behind your door, they're a dumbass because average person, like, well, me, when I'm ready to get the fucking side, especially if it's cold, my door comes open fast.
Yeah.
So if you're behind, that's why my boots are back there to block it.
Yeah.
If that door comes open when I'm ready to get the fuck in and you're behind it, sorry, bro, you're not the fuck out. Two, the fire hazard. How's it a fire hazard? I mean, same system as a fucking sliding door. For one thing, you can actually lock yourself in easier on a sliding door because their locking mechanism is right by the handle.
Yeah.
You can actually grab the handle and flick the lock at the same time.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a little bit different on a doorknob because you grab around it. Another thing, creaky hinges. Well, if your hinges creak, well, just WD-40, motherfucker. And to know which way they open, well, if you can see the hinge, it comes your way. You don't see the hinge, it goes the other way. I'm just having a hard time breaking this down because I'm just,
I mean, I have nothing against like sliding doors, but like I will say in a lot of situations that I have seen, I've met people that told me they've had to replace the lock many times on their sliding doors because it tends to
Yeah.
break easy. I actually lived in an apartment once that had a sliding door to my backyard, and the lock was actually broken on it. And so I literally couldn't lock it. The only way I would have been able to lock it would, I guess, put a board and by the
I think
door
I
or
do
something.
mine. Mine,
Yeah,
my lock didn't work. I put a board in it.
I just left it unlocked because I'm crazy, I guess. I would, and I didn't actually exactly live in the best neighborhood at that time either. And
Not only that, the cat thing. Animals can open sliding doors too. I have seen dogs.
yeah, I mean, if they figured it out, they could get it open. Uh, Another thing about that apartment, not only did the back sliding door not lock, but technically the front door wasn't locked either. You could lock the doorknob, but the bolt lock or whatever that's called. What is that called?
The bolt.
The deadbolt. Yeah, it didn't work, and I told the landlord many times to get it fixed, and he just never came out and did it. But so you could lock the doorknob, which kept someone, but it was one of those really flimsy locks, so you could literally like just stick a debit or a credit card or something in it, and it would just pop right open. So, which by the way, I literally did it every single night I came home from work because at the time my car the alarm went off really easily in it because I found out later it had a short in the wiring harness, but the only way I could keep the alarm from going off was keeping the keys in the ignition. So I would keep my key cards in the ignition, and I was too lazy to take the doorknob key off the key thing. So I would leave my keys in the car, leave my door unlocked, use my credit card to unlock the front door, and then and everything was like that. I did that for over a year.
So someone could have stole your car.
They could have not only broken my house, stole stuff, and then also stole my car with all the stuff they stole.
So I literally could have walked there, stole your shit, used your car to get away with it.
Pretty much, yeah. I remember my roommate I was living with at the time. When he found out that I was leaving my car unlocked all the time with the keys in the ignition, he was like, "Well, someone might steal your car," and that car was a piece of crap. You think my last car was a piece of crap? That one was worse. I was just like, honestly, the way I see it is, if someone stole that car, they'd be doing me a favor. They could have it. Anyway, that was a whole side story. That were somehow sliding doors led up to all that, but yeah.
Yeah. Kudos to that person for not liking regular doors. Have fun. Make all your doors sliding doors. See how well that works for you.
I mean, there are pros and cons to both, but no, I do not think sliding doors are amazing. While hinge doors are horrible, or vice versa. I think they're both fine. So.
Well, sliding doors are made out of glass. You can break the glass and walk in.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so the next one is, I can't take acting seriously. I can't enjoy any movies or series because I can't help but always think that it's acting, so who cares? I cringe at most scenes. I always enjoy anime way more because there are no real people, so I get immersed in the plot. But with movies, I can't forgive the fact that the actor finished his awesome scene and then went home like all of us, especially when the actor is famous, has many works. I always watch with the mindset of the rating, the acting performance. I'm never really impressed. Well, you could apply that same logic to anime or cartoons as well. It's like I can't help but feel that as soon as the scene was over, they stopped drawing the characters. I'm like, well, yeah, that's how it works.
Or not just that. Oh, after voice actors recorded the lines, they went home.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's how it works. I'm like, you could apply that same logic to anime or cartoons.
I will give them this, right? In some aspects, anime is better than live action for the simple fact that you can animate things a lot better than you can act it.
Yeah.
Especially fight scenes. You can animate fights way more over the top, way more.
Yeah. More exaggerated. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is entertaining.
Yeah.
Thing is, you're not watching the anime for that. You're watching it to listen to the story, the emotion somebody's putting behind their voice. The animators animating the face correctly. It's just as much acting. It's a two-part act. It's voice actors matching up with how artists are drawing the emotions. Whereas acting, all of it is one person acting that emotion and sound.
The middle finger. Okay, well.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that I always reference Friends for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because I've just seen every episode a million times. But it reminds me of that episode of Friends where Chandler can't cry or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, you didn't cry when Bambi's mom died?" It was like, "Yes, it was very sad when they stopped drawing the deer." And I'm like, it's the same logic here. You know, someone could apply that. You know, this person's not moved by actors because all he sees are people acting. But it's like you could apply that same logic, like you said, with the voice actors, with the drawing, you know, with the computer animations, all of that. You know, all I see when I watch this is just, you know, production and stuff. I don't see a real story. Like, okay, well, that's your brain works weird. Okay, apparently you can't get immersed into a story for some reason. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that person's issue with because, like, they're just fucktards. I'm moving on.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. It's one of those things. There's no really arguing with that person. They would argue until with a brick wall about it. But
oh, you know, I would argue with them. That brick wall to their face.
It's not a winning argument. I'll say that much because they've made up their minds that, you know, their way is the right way or whatever. So,
how you handle people that argue with a brick wall? You have said brick wall meets said face. You win.
Well, it's still not winning the argument, but
a win's a win, fucker.
That's not winning the argument. They still would disagree with you.
It's fine. They can disagree with no teeth.
If they disagree, then you didn't win the argument. Anyway,
you don't have to. The win an argument is not about getting the other person to agree with you. It's about backing the other motherfucker down.
Well, I think it's cheating then if you punch them in the face.
Well, they were arguing with a brick wall, so I let the brick wall fight back.
Anyway, I love how we're sitting here arguing in the exact same thing. We're arguing about something and we're doing that very thing that we're arguing about. Anyway, the next one, let's see. Farting in public is not impolite. Farting is a natural bodily process. People sneeze, cough, blow their nose in public all the time, which spreads lots of germs, and nobody bats an eye. That's actually not true, by the way. People do get grossed out by that stuff. Yep. Not saying you need to drop bombs everywhere, but you're in a situation where you need to fart and there's no option in leaving the room, then you shouldn't be an issue to let it go.
I'm not even going to touch this one.
Is that really a thing? Do people really like actually hold their farts in all the time in public? Because I feel like what most people do is they just try to let them out silently.
So there's 3 methods in this. You just let it the fuck out, don't care, try and hope it's a silent one, or hold it until you get to a different location where people can't hear you fart.
Yeah. For me, it depends on who I'm around. If I'm around somebody I don't know very well, I usually will try to let it out silently. If I can tell it's going to be a loud one, I'll just, I guess, wait until I step into. But like, I wouldn't hold it in all day like that. But I've heard some people say, "Oh, I'll hold it in," and I'm like, "All day?" I'm like, I would go outside, or if you can, or something, you know.
The reason behind a lot of it in the public is farts typically smell. It's coming from your ass.
Right, but
it's fumes for what you've previously eaten or consumed,
And I would also argue that most people, they're not holding in the fart because they feel like it's impolite. They're holding it in because they're scared they're going to be embarrassed about it. So if they fart in front of if they're in a classroom and they fart and it's really loud, to most people that would be kind of embarrassed. Now, not everybody would care. Some people would sit there and laugh it off, but they're not worried about being rude. So
It's more about either being embarrassed or being respectful. I mean, you don't know someone that's standing next to you or behind you, and you're about to rip, and you just let one rip just for no fucking, just to do it on said random person. You just gasp on them just to be a dick.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't fart like on somebody, but I have you've seen the way I do it. Like I will fart purposely very loudly in the same room as somebody. But to me, that's not the same thing. So.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't walk up right to somebody and then point my butt toward them and fart. I wouldn't do that. But
like if I've walked through Walmart and if I have to fart, I'll fart. I don't care. Unless I can really, you know those ones you can really feel are going to be bad? Like you can tell when you're about to have a really raunchy one.
Yeah.
On average. If you let one of those rip around people, you're an asshole.
Yeah. Unless you just can't. Sometimes they'll slip out on me and I didn't mean for it to. And in that case.
If you can clearly hold it and see a way away from a crowd of people, don't be a dick. Go somewhere else. If you have to cough and sneeze, aim away from people.
Yeah.
And stop. Don't fart on fucking boxes of cereal or cough on them or sneeze on it. Aim away from people.
That's hilarious.
Well, I've seen somebody just sitting there leaned against their cart and their ass was kind of facing the fucking shelf and I heard them fart. What they farted on was bread that I was about to go grab. You know what I didn't grab? That fucking bread.
Oh, I would have grabbed it right away. I've been like, this is the kind I want right here. This got farted on. It's just a fart. It's not like they took a crap on it.
It's still ass. It's still shit particles in gas form.
I know, that's flavor.
I'm going to kill you.
No, you won't. Anyway, next one. Okay. I know there's a lot of food ones on here, but it says, I like dry, overcooked meat. I don't know if it's because my parents always overcooked meat when I was younger or what, but for me, I love how they just did a jab at their own parents. A seasoned piece of dry, overcooked meat and a good sauce and sides can be just as good and sometimes better than a juicy medium cook.
Well, one thing to say that. Okay, cool. You have a preference. I know my sister-in-law likes her bacon taco, so I can't really say shit.
Well, with bacon, I can eat bacon at any stage. Like I'll eat it raw, I'll eat it burnt. I don't care. Bacon to me will always taste good, no matter what you do to it. So
I can't. If it's burnt, it's no longer bacon. It's just charcoal. It has a different taste.
I'll still eat it. It's still good.
We've already established you're a fucking freak. Get the fuck over it. Let's go on.
And I'm assuming when they say overcooked, I'm assuming they're talking about well done because some people consider that to be burnt. I wouldn't consider well done to be burnt unless you're actually burning it. But no, I do prefer mine a bit more on the rarer side, like medium, kind of somewhere in there, because I do think it's juicier that way. But I'm also not one of those people that would get upset at somebody that wanted their steak cooked well done. I'm just, if they said well done, I wouldn't be at the table going like, oh, you like it burnt? Me,
it's more of a, I'd rather not eat my steak or whatever it is, and then immediately have to drink all of my drink just to get it down.
Yeah, and that, yeah, because if it takes 4 glasses of Coke to get your steak down, then yeah, it's a little too dry. Yeah,
if you're covering it in sauce, you're missing out on a lot of the flavor of the steak.
Yeah, because you're essentially just eating the flavor of the sauce. Yeah.
So you just don't have that good of a palate, my friend.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, they admitted that it may be because of the way they grew up, but
and it probably is. If they're their parents weren't really good at cooking food, and they cooked it really dry and overcooked,
Yeah.
where you have to like a pork chop, half of it's all ketchup, pretty much. Every bite is pretty much ketchup with a little bit of pork chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, or yeah, you'll get used to it, and I guess it become your thing. It's like people that don't like medium rares because they don't typically eat it medium rare.
Right.
So if they start eating it medium rare, they'll probably start liking it. A lot of it is, raised stuff.
Yep. I can't say much though, because I've noticed as I've gotten older and older, I'm slowly turning into the whole that stereotypical like chicken nuggets and chicken strips only kind of adult. I used to never be like that, but as I've gotten older, I've just kind of like, yeah, that's just kind of all I want. I just kind of want something simple. Just give me a piece of chicken I can just dip in ranch, and then give me, I'm just kind of a simple plain person now. So, but I used to not be like that. So.
I'll never be like that.
I don't know what happened. It kind of snuck up on me. Before I knew it, I was just like, it's like not really interested in all that crap. Part of it is because I'm lazy. I don't want to cook it. Like, admittedly, I would still eat like more flavor combined meals and stuff like that if someone would make it for me, but I don't want to make it myself.
Right.
So now that I'm at home, when I'm at home, I just throw like some chicken strips in an air fryer and then dip it in ranch and call it a day. So, and like I'm fine with it. So
I feel like this episode's become less about reading unpopular opinions and more about me just ranting on assholes with unpopular opinions.
I know, and it's hilarious. We got to do these kind of episodes more often. I'll just pick out these unpopular opinions that'll piss you off, and then listen to you get pissed off. No, I'm just being silly. I do find it pretty entertaining. So. I'm just being silly though. Next one is Batman should have never been in the Justice League movies. I love Batman, but Batman is best used in the city as he takes down smaller time criminals. He shouldn't be fighting literal aliens and immersed powers with Earth-ending consequences as big as a fan base is. Having him in movies fighting alongside people with Superman and the Flash is pointless. Don't ruin him anymore by having him fight super-powered aliens in broad daylight with the future of Earth at risk. Having him patrol Gotham is good enough.
Tell us you don't read comics without telling us you don't read comics.
I knew you'd have something to say about this. I'm not even the biggest comic book or Batman fan, and even me reading this, I was like, what?
So, here to you, dumbass. One thing, Batman is considered the most intelligent, one of the most intelligent, most battle strategic detective minds of all time in the comic book universe of DC. Now, you take a man who, for one, is filthy fucking rich, has a shit ton of tech, which a lot of the aliens they do fight are typically just technologically advanced.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take that, right? All right, Superman. Great puncher, heavy hitter, all this power.
Yeah.
Now, you have him listening to battle strategies from a man like Batman, who's extremely intelligent, again.
Right.
Learns every form of martial arts, learns everything he can about battle strategy and detective work, all this great mind guy. Well, Superman's going to mollywop anybody in the army. He becomes a part of the Justice League because he's more than just a normal man. For one thing, he's at peak human condition. He is as strong as a human in that world could ever reach. He can kill most humans with one fucking well-placed hit. But he doesn't because he's so good at holding back.
Yeah.
Therefore, you place a basically superhuman The fuck was that?
What?
I heard a honk.
Not on my end.
It was on your end.
Nobody honking.
Oh, you play someone like that, then and also you can't really say he deals with low-level criminal. He literally deals with a man who's so psychotic that has actually almost completely destroyed Gotham. The Joker's not a normal base everyday criminal.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
He
I would
doesn't
argue that even people that Batman has faced on his own aren't normal everyday criminals. Yeah, of course, there's always those people, but what about the the more well-known bad guys like the Joker or Bane and stuff like that? And it's like these aren't your ordinary average street thugs. These are trained killers,
Well, again, yeah, he's faced the likes in Gotham, just in Gotham. If you want to keep him on street level, what's in Gotham? Bane, a jacked up, steroid-induced fucking luchador with bad temper. Poison Ivy, a woman who can literally control the green, which is, well, all of nature. She is over fucking powered. He beats her.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze, a man who has, well, he can freeze an entire city with his tech.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Killer Croc, a giant fucking crocodile dude.
Yep.
Scarecrow, who literally uses toxic gas to make people see their worst fears.
Yeah.
Should I go? I mean, hell, fucking Deathstroke, a superhuman with regenerative capabilities. Even his suit regenerates with just as much combat training as Batman. Hush, who's just as smart and fucking cunning as Batman, but an evil ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on of just his own personal villains. He faces people who are typically strong enough already that could, well, hell, Poison Ivy alone in the Deceased comics. The comics called The Deceased. It's their zombie comics. Puts an entire wall of fucking vines, this massive vines, top to bottom around Gotham City that not even the undead Superman could break through.
Well, one is. Here, let me show you what.
And Batman beats her.
Yeah.
Oh.
So to you, my friend, you're not a true nerd. You just watch movies.
He's just a nerd. He's just a nerd wannabe.
Yeah. Read some fucking comics. Learn some shit.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, I don't know a whole lot of specifics about comic books, but I'm also not going on Reddit trying to claim to be like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. I would never go on there, and that would be like if I went on there and started talking about, actually anything that I didn't know much about, and then tried to claim that I was, and it would become very obvious to people like you and other people who knew what they were talking about that I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But anyway, the next one is M&M's made a mistake by replacing the light brown with blue candies. Light brown or tan was the most appropriate color for a milk chocolate candy, whereas blue still looks out of place. It's especially unnatural looking and would be more fitting for a sour fruit flavored candy. They made the switch in 1995. It still looks wrong to me.
I'm not going to give him that one. That one's just.
I would argue it doesn't look any more out of place than like the red M&M or the green M&M or like how does blue stick out more than any of those colors? I can get where he's coming from with the brown and the chocolate, like that makes sense, but like how does blue look any more out of place than the other brighter colors?
So to answer this question, the only answer I can actually give to you The reason they did it is because colors are more attractive to kids. They sell their candy primarily to kids. So therefore, a colorful chocolate candy is not only they're not only consuming with their eyes all the colors. Woo! When they buy into
color.
chocolate. It's just marketing. Get the fuck over yourself. Move on.
Yeah. Next one says teachers shouldn't confiscate cell phones. In my opinion, students should be progressed through the disciplinary system. I said that word horribly, i.e., removed from class, detention, suspension, etc., for using cell phones inappropriately instead of teachers taking them, even if it's temporary. That's the student's personal belongings. Right.
Okay.
They're saying like if you caught a student with a phone, they should get detention or something instead of taking their phone away.
Well, no, because then kids would just take their phones out to get detention because they don't want to be in class.
Right.
The reason they take it now, I don't think they should keep it till the end of the day. They should keep it for that class and then give it back. For one thing, it's like at work. You're not allowed to use your cell phones at most jobs.
Yeah.
You can get fired for using your cell phone at a job.
Right.
So teaching kids not to use their cell phones in those type of areas prepares them for the future. Realistically, the kid knows early on, okay, I get in trouble, whether it be their phone being taken away temporarily, especially if it becomes a nuisance, which kids are fucking nuisances in general. So add something like a fucking cell phone, which is a nuisance in itself. Maybe, you need to teach them better ways with it, but it disrupts class. If you just sit them out in the hall or send them, they're not going to learn anything. They're going to keep doing it because, I just get detention. And you can't, if you expel
Did you ever use your phone in class when you were a kid? I'm curious.
No.
I didn't use mine either.
Never needed to.
I always turned mine off and had it in my backpack. So
mine was never turned off. It was just silent.
Oh, I turned mine off. So I was kind of extreme with devices when I was a teenager and a young adult. Like anytime I was in a situation where my phone could be disruptive, even as a young adult, I did this. I would always turn my phone off. Like if I was going in for an interview or something for a job, I would have my phone off and in the car. I didn't even have it on me. I was kind of extreme with stuff like that. I'm not like that now. So now I'll just silence it.
Whoa. Okay. You went extremely fast talking all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, so I said I was kind of extreme with stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I never, but it is also fair to say phones weren't super beyond a big deal like they are nowadays because we didn't have smartphones, at least not in the way that they are now back in those days. So, like, would I have done the same thing if I had a smartphone in a high school? I don't know, maybe. So, I probably would have if everybody else was doing it. Like if a lot of my friends were playing on their phone in class, I probably would have tried to snuck a few looks to see if somebody texts me or whatever. So
the only time I used my phone in school was in the PE room and in between classes.
I didn't even use it in there. I never even used mine between class. I might as well not even had it at school. I never used it at school. So I guess I just used it for emergencies for like no, actually I take that back. I did use mine in Votech, but we were allowed, they didn't have those same rules there. We could use whatever we wanted in there. So they didn't care. So,
well, the thing is like,
because I played my Game Boy in there, they didn't care. So,
but the last thing I want to say on this, that poster is either a kid or a fucking Karen, though.
Well, it's not like they're confiscating the phones to keep it. Like they're just holding it either until the end of class or the end of the day. Most of the time, what they're doing is they're taking it, and then what they're going to do is they're going to call the kid's parents, and they're going to have them come to the school pick it up. So that way, the parents at least know about it. So most likely, the kid will get in trouble. Now, that's not necessarily a guarantee.
I don't think they should do that because. Thing is, phones are good for some stuff in school. like in the odd case of a school shooter or a massive storm or something. Now, I do think that a teacher, as they take their phone, should grab it, put it on silent, stick it on their desk, and at the end of the day, at the end of that class, the kid can pick it up because
What
it's
if
no
a
longer.
school shooter shows up during that class, though, right after their phone just got confiscated?
Well, they're probably around another kid with a phone. So,
well, then the same principle could apply if they kept it at the end of the day. So
yeah, but then
when would the phone come in handy during a storm? The school already informs you everything that's going on. So
because you might. Okay, say a tree comes through the fucking roof, and you're say in the bathroom with your friend, and your friend gets pinned by a tree. That's worst case scenario, but
in a school, that's
computer,
probably not going to happen because I doubt it would bust through those walls and ceiling. But I suppose it's possible.
I'm just saying. They're also playing very worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
When you're thinking this stuff. Now, also, school shooter, same thing. If the teacher keeps his phone all day and he's between classes, say he goes to the bathroom, he or she goes to the bathroom, and the school shooter comes in, and they're the only kid in the bathroom. No one knows that they're in the bathroom. Why? Well, because their phone was confiscated sitting in the teacher's office. Now, if a school shooter comes in and you're in the classroom with your said cell phone, one thing, the teacher's going to guide you out. People know where you're at. And as you're leaving the classroom, just grab your fucking phone off the desk. Like I said, they shouldn't put it in a fucking drawer. They should leave it on their desk. They should have the kids sign their phone and put it on.
I mean, as long as you don't wear those pumped up kicks to school, you should be fine in that scenario. But
but it's more while a kid's in a group of other kids or the teacher, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to need their cell phone.
Yeah.
Someone can be able to handle it. But it's between those classes.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I have no opinion about it one way or the other. I think it should just be handled however the teacher sees fit. If they want to confiscate it and take it to the principal's office or whatever, it's not a big deal to me. Or if they want to just tell them to silence it and put it back in their backpack, that's fine with me. However they see fit to handle it, which some teachers do. They just tell them, hey, you need to put that away. So that's what my mom does. Anytime she sees somebody on their phone, she just tells them to put it away. So
anyways,
my mom's a teacher, by the way, for podcast listeners that don't know. Next one, being averse to hard work and not saving and investing money keeps most people poor. I don't even remember saving this one. Keeps most people poor.
I'm going to skip into this one, bud, because I don't want to get into this one.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want me to at least read it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You're that against it, huh?
No, it's not against or for. I'm not saying anything because I don't want to. I'm not giving any discussion on that because then it could be taken as financial advice.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, if I just read it, you don't have to say anything about it.
I don't want to. I don't care enough to talk about it, so I point in reading it.
Well, maybe I want to see it.
I don't give a fuck. You can read it in your own time.
Nope, I'm reading it right here. It's my podcast.
This is all. You do partially what I say.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
I'll keep that in mind when we're at work.
No, at work it's my time because I'm your boss.
No, it's my time. Because I'm on the clock. If it's my time, if I'm on the clock, it's my time. I can decide whenever I want to leave.
That place, but I'm always on the clock.
Yeah, and that's between you and the office, so that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, it has a lot to do. It has everything to do with you because I'm on the clock because you fuckers fuck up.
What did I do?
I don't know. Nothing yet. Hopefully.
Yeah. Are you assuming I'm going to do something? Are you talking about people that call in? Because I never call in.
Honestly, no, you really don't, do you?
Yeah, I don't. I can't bring myself to call in when I work in a small group job. It takes a lot for me to call in.
Yeah.
Because I know when you call in, someone else has to come and work their shift, and then it jacks up the whole schedule. So
yeah.
I didn't have as much a problem with it when I worked in a bigger company because, it only takes them a few minutes to find somebody to take your spot. So, and it's not a big deal. So, in fact, when I was a spreader on the line, it literally you didn't even need to have somebody take my spot. They could just work it with the same amount of just one less person. You could still run the line pretty easily.
There's actually something I'm going to talk to you about when it comes to work at the end of this, but let's continue.
Oh, okay. Anyway, next one. Hard work and motivation is much easier in physical work than it is intellectual work. You see athletes and bodybuilders talk about hard work, dedication, and motivation. Waking up at 4 a.m. and working out all day it's easier to put your physical body through struggle as it is just external pain of your body, which you can take breaks and rest from. But your brain regulates your whole body. If it's exhausted, burns out, hits harder. Sitting down and studying for exams, doing extensive coding, reading for long hours, doing research work as much more taxing effort than physical work can ever be.
In this one.
I don't think I agree with that, but
see, both of them are equally as.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, I would argue they're both exhausting.
They utilize sports people. They don't count people like construction workers or farmers or anything that's physical.
Yeah, like manual labor. Yeah.
Because with manual labor, it's a combination of your mind and body. If you're fucking mentally exhausted, you're not going to be able to do your job right. If you're physically exhausted, you're not going to be able to do your job right.
Yeah.
The thing is, your mind replenishes at night when you sleep. So all you do is sleep and your mind's good. As long as you get good sleep. And if you get bad, if you don't sleep very well like I do, well, figure out something better. Like I need to figure out a new bed and a new pillow system for me so I can sleep better. Okay. I know what I got to do. Figure out why you're not sleeping very well, why you're not getting enough rest to, mentally do your job. It's like people that are physical laborers, they need to rest. Hell, you fucking pull a muscle, you need to sit there and put ice on it or this on it and that on it. And that muscle takes way longer to heal than your brain does to recover its processes.
Yeah.
The physical body is takes longer to heal than your brain does to recharge.
Yeah, I agree.
That person clearly doesn't know basic biology. Like you.
I was just kidding.
I know.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I would argue being both in either situation can both be exhausting. So, and it depends on the person too, because some people may not be used to manual labor. So if they go out there and suddenly start doing it, well, they're going to feel overly exhausted. Vice versa, if someone's not used to working on a computer all day long and trying to rack their brain, they're going to feel overly mentally exhausted because they're just not used to doing that kind of stuff. So
yeah. I mean, also the eye strain and all that.
Yeah. All right, I skipped one because I thought that one was kind of dumb. I didn't know why I saved it. But here's the next one. Everyone needs to stop driving with their hazards on when the roads are bad. Hazard lights are to let the other drivers know about other wise unknown hazards, like if you're stuck on the side of the road or have to drive slowly because car trouble when everyone else is driving the speed limit. In a snowstorm, we all know that what the hazard is. We're all driving slowly. Your hazards are just more distracting and annoying. I will add that it's okay in whiteout conditions.
Okay, so they're saying don't drive with your hazards on in like if it's sunny, but there's a lot of snow and ice.
Right. I don't.
Dark.
Do people really do that? Do they turn their hazards on when it's snowy outside?
Well, the problem is, so there's two reasons. There's actually more than one reason to actually use your hazards that he's not talking about. One is if you have to go slower than the traffic, normal flow, you put your hazard on and let the person behind you come
That's
up
what
on
he
you.
said. That's what he said. Yeah, he said the only time you should use your hazards if it's a situation they don't know about, like would be car trouble or something like that.
But people do it when they're having to drive extremely slow because some people do still drive pretty fast during storms.
Yeah, they
There
do.
are idiots out there. It's a safety feature. It makes that person behind the wheel feel safer, knowing that, for one, if you hit someone with their hazards on, you actually get more of a fine and you have to pay more. So because you're a dumbass who didn't pay attention to blinking lights, you're definitely going to be, the cops are going to be all over your ass. But in whiteout conditions, like you said, yeah, you should use it. But if the road is bad and everyone's driving the same speed limit still, you don't need your hazards. It's not a distraction. Like he thinks, if you're easily distracted by that, my friend, you probably got ADHD. You have look, a shiny thing disorder.
Yeah. Like I have ADHD and I wouldn't find hazards to be that distracting. I would just find them to be alerting. If I saw someone with their hazards on, I would just slow down or whatever and, figure out a way around them if I could. So
hell, if anything,
I wouldn't be sitting there getting distracted. Well, now I can't pay attention to the road because this person's hazards are on. Yeah.
Hell, if anything, just driving at night past a fucking cop who's got somebody pulled over.
Oh yeah.
Their lights on is more risky because
I was about to say I hope this person doesn't live in an urban area because at nighttime there's friggin' flashing lights all over the place in those areas.
Yeah. Yeah, I go to leave. One reason I didn't like working overnights is driving down my road. There's a fucking church that has LED fucking signs with bright white lights.
Wow, they want people's attention. Come to our church, please.
It shows different information, like it shows what the church is doing, or if they have special event, or
tonight we're having a PYPA meeting. Please come.
Yeah, but it's fucking bright.
Revival at 7. Come.
And I mean, literally, it's bright enough that even if my windshield is freshly clean, it glares all across it.
Yeah.
And it's just the same if you pass by a copper with their fucking flashers on.
Yeah.
But no, I half agree, half disagree.
Yeah.
I agree that if it's sunshine or whatever, or if it's cloud cover and everyone's going the same speed limit, you really don't need it. But it being distracting, no. If you're distracted by that, then you shouldn't be driving. You're the type of person that's going to see something that looks interesting to you, take your eyes off it, and rear into somebody. Or you're the type of person that probably uses their cell phone on the road. Every time your fucking phone goes off, you got to look at it.
Yep. Trust me, whoever it is, it's not that important. They can wait like a few minutes.
Yep.
All right, you're going to love this next one.
Oh, okay.
It's another comic book one. That's why I said that. It says Spider-Man kind of sucks, which is a great title. His comics have sucked for so long that he's barely enjoyable as a character. He had one good run in the last 2 decades, 2018 through 2022. That's it. Other than that, he's a character who is written poorly and has terrible storylines. Daredevil is better.
Okay. What was the last bit? Who was better?
Daredevil.
Oh, I can almost partially agree with this. Fuck.
I was wondering what you would think about that ending part. I'm like, I wonder how Eric would feel
he's
about that.
actually correct in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man is a great character if done right.
Yeah.
The problem with Spider-Man is we do get a lot of repetitive storylines with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Anytime they make a new issue of Spider-Man, from a new Earth or whatever, it repeats, and it's almost the exact same, except for slight differences and changes. Like The Ultimate Spider-Man was a good storyline run because it was different enough, using the same, use the basic building blocks, but it was grittier, it was darker. But most of the Ultimate storyline is.
Yeah.
But in the end, yeah, Spider-Man is a highly underused character. His storylines could be a lot better. His niche of villains is actually some of the smallest. Let's see here. Rhino, Venom, Carnage, pretty much multiple, I think 8 symbiotes or whatever total. Scorpion, Lizard, Doc Ock. He shares some like Kingpin, because Kingpin's also for Daredevil and a few others. But he doesn't really have a whole lot compared to some. I would actually say Captain America has the least, probably, of his own natural enemies.
Yeah.
Because majority of his enemies is based just Hydra. But he's still a great character.
Yeah.
There's still a lot you could do with Spider-Man. Like, the Insomniac video games are retelling Spider-Man in some aspects, but in a completely different way. Like, for one thing, Spider-Man's much older when Venom is introduced. Typically, when Venom is introduced, he's not that old.
Yeah.
And because, at this point, he's already got his Miles Morales. He's already been through his. This is a story of Spider-Man that we don't get to see very often, where he's actually an adult.
Yeah.
Another great run is the Superior Spider-Man storyline. It's a great run because it's primarily because the Superior Spider-Man is Peter Parker with Doc Ock taking over his body. And where they got into that run, Spider-Man's got his body back, Doc Ock's back in his own. And there's an enemy that's showing up in the more recent one that has an issue with Superior Spider-Man because of Doc Ock, but Peter doesn't know about her. And why this person actually hates him. Why this person has such a vendetta against Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So they do some interesting doo-doo. They do some interesting stories with Spider-Man, but on average, it's either a repeat of him in stories we've seen countless of times, doing the same thing over and over, or he's with the Avengers or someone else.
Yeah.
But I actually can say, though, a lot of comic book characters are like that.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of fresh takes in the comic book industry anymore.
Yeah.
That's why in the DC, they're starting to try and go to the next generation.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to add to that. I do like Spider-Man. I wouldn't say I know everything about him. I've read a decent portion of the comic books when I was a preteen / young teenager, but not enough to know a whole bunch. I mostly know most of the information based on like the TV shows, a couple of the older video games, and some of the movies and stuff like that. But yeah, so far, I would, I do consider myself to be a Spider-Man fan. So personally, I would disagree, but that's just because I'm a Spider-Man fan. Obviously, I'm going to disagree. So, but yeah, we're almost out of time, so we'll probably have to stop here. And maybe in a future, not the next episode, but later on in a future episode, we might pick up some more unpopular opinions and make some comments on them. So hopefully you like this episode. And you have anything else to add, Eric?
No, except for a lot of these unpopular opinions are just dumbasses. Anyways.
That's just Reddit in general, though.
That is true. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the episode and me really fucking ranting.
I know I did. That was hilarious.
All right, everyone. Bye.